Morning everyone, it's Sunday morning. I went to bed last night at about 9 o'clock. I felt awful. I had a bath and I had such plans to do lots of things yesterday evening and then I didn't get any of them done. I've just been feeling really tired recently. I went to the doctor's a couple of weeks ago and I had some bloods taken and they said I was low in vitamin D, which I kind of understand for this time of year, although everyone's then said to me how surprised they are that I'm low in it because I'm outside a lot more than, say, typical people who work in an office or a shop or something like that. So I've started taking just some over-the-counter supplements. I'm maybe starting to feel a teeny tiny bit better, but not massively. We didn't do what I'd planned to do yesterday. We didn't fetch Jessica and Willow home and we didn't move the valley in just because it was quite wet yesterday and I don't really think there's a massive urge, certainly not a massive rush to bring Jessica home. Me and Mum went to go and have a look at her and she isn't bagging up or anything like that, so I think she'll be okay for a little while. And the valley, they're alright in their field really as they are. They'll probably want to come in. But I just came on here because I'm trying to vlog more. I have this dream that I'm going to do Vlogmas. I don't know how practical it will be considering I'm so busy and it's just an added stress to put on. But this morning I've actually had a really good morning. I had set my alarm for early but I stayed in bed and snoozed with the kitten for a while. And then I got up and I've actually done a bit of baking this morning. Nothing fancy. So basically I've made... I don't know if you can see these or they look particularly appetising. They're it's a recipe I actually found on TikTok that I've adapted myself, and they're like, it's made with porridge oats, which I blitz in my little hand blender and make into like almost baked oats. And so I make them in just like a little loaf tin. I don't know what size loaf tin this is, but I've put in porridge oats. I've got some stewed apples, a banana, then various, a bit of cinnamon, a bit of salt. I did put in 2 tablespoons of flour just because I think it needed a bit of extra something. 1 egg, a bit of baking powder, and then I chopped up some walnuts, dates, and some pieces of dark chocolate. And literally only like a piece of dark chocolate like that. And it just makes a really nice, and I like to hope, healthy breakfast, and it keeps me fuller for longer if we're going to be doing something quite physical. I find if I have like just cereal, I'm hungry more or less as soon as I've finished. And then I've also made some little date, I think they're energy balls. So they're basically... dates that I've pulsed in the blender, in the big blender, with some almond butter and coconut, the little pieces of desiccated coconut. I've made them before when it's been in like a tray and you make them in a tray bake. I've just done them into like little balls, and then what I'll do is once they're firmed up I'm going to hopefully melt a bit of chocolate, bit of dark chocolate, and that'll just make them extra nice. So that's sort of the plan. So I'm going to the farm now. Well, I have my chickens to feed, I'm going to the farm. It's been raining constantly all morning, so I doubt we'll get much sheeping done today. So I'm hoping I can come home and do some jobs around here. I have some bulbs I need to plant out. I have loads of tidying up to do in the house and things like that. So yeah, there's quite a bit to be getting on with. So I have done a thing. I have brought down all my Christmas decorations from the loft. So that's these boxes here. There's a garland there. There's a couple of boxes there. There's my little clock thing with the tray and the tree, and a few more boxes there. I will say my excuse was I was going to put some boxes in the loft, like this great big one here, but then I've looked at that and I thought, oh, I could fit some fleeces in that, so I have not put that in the loft. Mara is very excited because she isn't normally loud in this room, isn't she? Now, I aren't going to say I'm going to start getting ready for Christmas and stuff. I'm planning on doing a big tidy before I start doing that. But I just thought I'll get the things down while I feel like I had a little bit of a surge of strength. So I've got all these bits down, so I'll just push them into this side. This room sort of becomes the dumping ground. And I also found there's a Christmas present that I knew that I bought ages ago and I'd lost. Anyway, I found it in here, so that's brill. So just got these bits down, so I'll just shove them around the corner. Now my plan was for the rest of the afternoon, I don't know if you can see out of the window, I have some bulbs, autumn planting bulbs, that I was going to pot up into some nice little planters. It was raining, that's why I've done this now. So I'm hoping it's maybe stopped raining, and if I wrap up warm I might be able to stand in front of, be in front of the summer house and just do them there, and then that's another good job done. Then I will have a quick whiz around, I think, with the hoover, because it's just a bit gritty up here, and then I'll go to the farm and feed up. I'm hoping I'll have remembered to splice in the footage I took on my iPhone, because I left this camera down at the house. But this morning we pulled Isabella, my valet Yu, and two of my shearlings, Lara and Luby. We pulled them out of the field and they're in the shed. Isabella chiefly because she's bagged up an awful lot in a very short space of time, and she's the one that shouldn't be in lamb but is in lamb and is having twins. And last year we got no lambs out of her alive, so we're just a bit concerned. We had planned not to lamb her again this time, but we are, well, clearly jolly decided that no, we were going to lamb her again. So we're just going to hopefully keep an eye on her. I've bought a special drench that was recommended that is particularly good for Valley Blacknose for keeping condition on them, a vitamin D drench. So I'm planning on dosing her with that. I don't know whether to just give her a dose of it this afternoon when we go to feed up or not. She is a bit lame. She has got a sore front foot, so I will have a quick look at that. She doesn't go as badly when she's on the straw, but it wouldn't help to just have a quick look. But yeah, so that's sort of this afternoon. So boxes all pushed up in this corner, so it's just these and these. That's just an empty box there, and my tree there. I can't quite believe that I have managed to, over the years, accumulate so many Christmas decorations. And this year, I said I wasn't buying anything, but I've actually remembered that I have bought, it's a winter, I think it's a garland. I can't remember if it's a garland or if it is actually a wreath. I've taken the autumn one down that I've had out front, and I might put the other one on. But this room, basically, just to give you a bit of background on the room, so this is what is meant to be my bedroom. This is the main room in the house. So it has built-in wardrobes, a bit of storage space up at the top, and a little vanity there. I'm not a fan of the doors, but I think I might just have to paint them. This one, I think I have thrown out the thing that fastens it shut, so I'll just have to get another one of them. But I think 2020, COVID time, I stripped all this wallpaper barring that bit there, because I wanted my dad to come and take the radiator off and help me take that piece of wood down. And since then, nothing further has happened in this room. The wardrobes have some clothes in. It tends to be where I have my areas. It's also where I tend to grow a lot of plants, because I have the heated areas there. And then it just is a general dumping ground. Also, if anybody wants any the Bezic style but not Bezic, authentic Bezic horses, I have a couple of those. And if anybody wants a Board of Fine Art, it's a hedgehog. It's a family of hedgehogs. It's not Stepping High or whatever the other one is. I can't remember what it's called. But it's a... It was meant to be a black-faced ram, and then these hedgehogs came and then the person ghosted me. So if anybody wants that, please let me know. Then these are my Wedgwood, which I got sort of, a lot of them, that was already here. I think this one was the one that was already here that was Nana's. And what sort of started my interest in the Wedgwood. These are a job lot I bought. There's some in there, there's some plates. Some of them are, like that one, are Charles and Diana. So I'm thinking of trying to sell them at some point. But eventually I will make my little Wedgwood display. So yeah. Then this is the wardrobe that I think were both of the wardrobes in the bedroom that is now my bedroom. So I actually have this wardrobe, a chest of drawers, and 2 matching side tables. So if anybody is in the Rydale area and needs some furniture, hit me up. Right, Ma, has it stopped raining? We're going to go outside. She's a pain and likes to be in there all the time. But really, I don't think it's that she likes to be in there, it's that she wants to be with me. Ma.
We've got pressure.
No, it's a bit. Oh, I mean, is it literally
Quicker release.
8 kilos. Thank you. 818, wonderful move. First prize in the class, chaps. Simon Shorter as well. He's not so right for working, chaps. He's not so right for working. Just so you know. And again, now, we'll go on, chaps. And again, do we get 5, 4, 50, 400, 5, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5, 5, 10, 15, 15, 15, 20, 25, 25, 30, 32, 35, 435, 35, 5, and 5, and 435, and also 435, 34 now. Well, Pearson, thank you very much indeed. Thank you, Billy. Hold on, chaps. Right, just wait before I put that on. Right, chaps, we'll go through the prize winning clean capture now, ladies and gents. The judges, Anthony and Luke Swells, have had a very difficult job this morning, chaps. Nationwide. We all know what's going on with this government at the moment, chaps, and it's fantastic to see all these young farmers around this ring, and we hope to see them for many generations, but they are producing some absolutely fantastic cattle around this area, so we have a round of applause for all the vendors who brought some cattle today. It's been such a pleasure to see. And the winner here, chaps, with all these ladies and gents around this ring. All these buyers, chaps, from week in, week out, they've all got local businesses, selling nationwide, chaps, but if you can support them like they support you, we'll have a wonderful job. But we need a round of applause for these buyers, chaps, because they do look after them week in, week out, and they produce some of the finest stuff. The finest grades, so there we go. And the sponsors today are BATA, they need your support as well, chaps. Don't we? Anthony, yeah, well, that's Luke and Anthony. Now, Luke here, unfortunately, Luke's got clothes on today, ladies, so we're not going to have, well, if you can take your top off, Luke, I think we might get a few more clips on Facebook. We don't want to see you with your top off, look, Paul. Right, come in. It's all right to come in. Right, we'll just have a these, yeah, we're breathing, chop, yeah. Where's Anna? Anna's on there. Oh, she's up there, she's filming it. Anna's the road gaffer. Right, bring in, Becky. Thank you. Thank you, sorry. Right, chaps, for the first prize today, the champion effort was Paul and Anna and Edward Jackson. Put a round of applause, please. Well done. Cheers there. Thank you, Rosie. Well done. Thank you very much. Well done, Paul. Have to tell us about this one, Paul. Good effort. Is this Edward's or yours, Paul? Well done. Thank you very much. Right, wonderful effort, ladies and gents. First prize in the champ, 610 kilos, and I'm sure there'll be a bit of look on it from the Jackson family.
very lucky? Very lucky.
And again, right on the big champs, £8, £7, £6, £6 anywhere, £5 anywhere, £5 700 pence beard at 700, some 10, some 20, some 40, 30, some 30, at 750 beard at some 30, 30, some 30, oh Luke, at some 30 beard at some 130 pence beard at some 40, some 40, at some 40, at some 40, round in front, some 50, at some 150 pence, at some 50, we're very lucky to say, at some 50, at some 150 pence here up, at some 50, there aren't anyone else, at some 50, 50, some 50, around top by the 30s, at some 50, 50, the bit straight in front at 750 pence, I'm sorry you then chaps, at some 50, last chance I'm selling it now, at 750 pence per kilo, Radford's Butchers, that's 620, 620, 20, 620, bid, 620, that's 620, I'll take 30 grams at 620 bid, that's 620 bid at 620, anyone else at 620, that's 620, I will take, I'm selling it then, at 620 pence, I'm selling it then, at 620 pence a kilo, Radford's Butchers again from Slice, thank you very much, 670, yes please, yeah, bring them in. And again, now, look at the business family more ahead. And again, now, look at the little bit of these shops. All the way look at that for after. And again, now, doing 5,000, 450, 50, 25, 35, 430, 5,000, 430, 5,000, 45, 50, 5, 60, at 460%, at 460, whatever, at 460, you're up to it. 565, 472, 75, 78, 480, 80 bid, at 482, 85, 488, 490, 92, 92, 492, 202, 92, 1 and a half. James May Butchers, and again there, 32. Thank you very much, thank you very much. And the way now, and again there, very good chaps. Thank you, 615, 615, and again there from the business family. And again there, look at that chaps. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 460, 465, 465, 70, 475, 480, 85, 495, 495, I'll take any else, 495, 495, 4 and a half, it's my butchers.
Well, taking it fairly chill today. It did. Zooming on you. Dainty. That's it. Don't look like he's covered little white Jan. Wispy. Oh sweet. Jessica. Now are you hooking up the world's most dodgiest crossbred labs ever? Oh yeah. And despite the fact that I got you a beautiful Border Leicester boyfriend, you couldn't wait. Vinny's over there, isn't he? There he is. He's near Marilyn. It's a bit blowy. How's that for a Border Leicester? Look at that and look with his head back. Okay, I think so. She has sort of greyish muzzle, doesn't she? What size is that? It's a bit windy. Them clouds are scary. Vinny! Vincenzo! It's coming from. Hey Marilyn! Is he just going two in you this time? We don't need the three. Hello? Well, there's plenty of blue all over yourself, isn't there? Vincent! alright, lad? I don't think you've lost any condition. That willow is going to be near. Oh, my own pedigree registered more or less. That little wisp. You have no mark on you, do you, lass? But I wouldn't say she looks massive. I wouldn't say she looks like anybody else that's particularly getting her in lamb. I don't know. Wispy! A little Wispy when we got her. She was so frightened. Well spooked. And she was about a third of the size she is. I mean, she's still only half the size of a full-grown sheep. But she's much better. We getting any boobies? We're getting some clinkers. Honestly, Jessica. We're going to have to come and see to her. They'd about finished that lick bucket at Napton and there isn't a lot left. Have to watch out for one of the big rabbit holes. Oh, ambulance. Let's maybe go into them. Village. I see you have no mark on your bum, Thumbelina. Where is Boyer? You're going to be a late one, aren't you? But it doesn't matter. I think I've had a few of you tumble down a rabbit hole or two. Because some of you are a bit lame. Oh, he's up there. Nah, Thumbelina doesn't have a coloured bum. I'm hoping he's getting dolly when he's had no mark on. Oh, you're in a bit of a more problem here, girls. Oh, look up here. There's sheep all over. Can't say I remembered us having as many as this. Hello. Oh, and it's nice when the sheep come running. Right, like you, Sherma. Look at great Mark. Hello, little hurdy-gurdy. You were coming to me then, weren't you? They look well, do these two? I like them. Oh, we nudging, me lad. Well, here, we nudging. Oh, we've been slacking, haven't we? You've done a good job. Did you like share with Shay favourite? She's your bestest girlfriend. No, he has not. Ah, then, oh, should have had some more yells for you, love. Jim! Maybe shouldn't have. Judy! Oh dear, well, that one. It's not very nice. See you later, Victor. They're all spread out. Oh, he looks so sad. So it is Friday evening. It is the 28th of November. I don't know. It's Black Friday. It's the last Friday payday. The last payday before Christmas. Is all I know. So today, obviously, I've been off work. We had big plans. I really wanted to get our lambs we've kept on farming to give them a check over and give them a break worm dose, and that was the plan for this afternoon. I'm trying to decide if my face looks a bit funny there. I don't know. Excuse my appearance. Obviously, I've literally just come from the farm. My hair desperately needs a wash, and it's a bit greasy because I've been using the hair on me hair oil treatment. So I'd seen the skin on me stuff advertised a lot all over the place, and I'd seen a few bloggers talk about it. But I've been having issues with my hair for quite a while now. So I've been losing hair. It's been losing its quality. It's not holding on to the colour very well, and my hairdresser did say it's the worst condition it's been in for a while. I did have blood tests done, and they've come back as me being low in vitamin D, which kind of makes sense for this time of year. But in the meantime, I'd also looked into this hair in me thing. Let me just go and find it. So I'd looked into this, so it's this hair on me. So I've just got my next lot. I've hardly used any of this. I've only literally just started using it this week, and it's like a pipette of stuff that you put on, and you put onto your scalp, and it is. I was really worried it would make my hair really, really oily, and I'd have to be washing it all the time. But it's actually not been so bad, and like you can put it on and then wait an hour and wash your hair, so that's good. It does say if you colour it to give 48 hours either side, because at some point I'll probably colour my roots in, and I am having my hair done just before Christmas. So I've only been using it this week, so it says it usually takes about 6 months to see any actual results, and I'm probably doing it wrong because I'm taking my vitamin D supplements as well as that, so it would be very difficult to know which one is having the effect. But I thought, well, I've paid for it, so I might as well try it and see how it goes. And I might try and update you as it goes along. I do feel like my hair is feeling a little bit nicer, so I don't know. I'm guessing that probably would be from the vitamin D rather than anything else. So yeah, so just obviously excuse my appearance. The house also looks like a bomb's gone off. I still have all the breakfast pots out from this morning, and the toaster's on the table because I cooked our tea in the slow cooker the other day, so that's where the toaster would normally go. But my plan for this evening is to totally blitz the house. I'm going to try and get ready for Christmas, so I am going to cook my Christmas cake. So in here I have all my fruit and mixed peel. That's all been sat in there marinating with quite a generous portion of brandy. So I had done it with a couple of it's a dessert spoon more than anything else. Well, I think like a tablespoon, but not a tablespoon, if you know what I mean. It's like a serving spoon for on the table. I'd put a couple of spoonfuls of that on the fruit yesterday, and then John said he didn't think it smelled nearly strong enough, so I put a bit more in, and I had to put some more cherries in because I didn't have enough, so I bought some. So I got to have a glass of cherries in Christmas cake. So I thought tonight, since this will probably be my opportunity, I'll have the most time at home to be able to keep an eye on it. I'm going to do the cake. I'm following a B-roll recipe. So when I first moved out on my own, my mum bought me the B-roll book. And I have used quite a few of the recipes in here, but I always do go back to the Christmas cake. And it says it needs to bake for 3.5 to 4 hours, which is a long time. It's on low 113 a fan oven, so hopefully it won't cause my smart meter to go totally doolally. I did panic and think, oh my god, I don't have enough ground almonds, but I have just found a packet in the cupboard, so that'll be okay. I have gone slightly off piste because I didn't have any currants, so I've just upped the ratio of sultanas and raisins, and I didn't have enough mixed peel, so I put some cranberries in because I think cranberries are Christmassy. But we'll just see how we go. And I got some eggs. I had to buy eggs, which was awful because our hens have stopped laying. And I mean, my two that I have here, they haven't laid since I took the hen and the chick away, so I'm hoping we can bring some of the chicks to mine, but I need to move the hen house. So it's been a bit of a chaotic week. I stayed at John's on Monday night after work. We went to the Christmas show and sale, which I'm hoping I'll have put some clips in from this in front of this video. And then was at work Wednesday and yesterday. Then today we were going to sort these lambs out, but we'd gone round the tups just to check on all them. There's a ewe in each field that's lame, so we're gonna have to try and sort that out. But as we were coming back, it absolutely started chucking it down, and it rained really nastily for like an hour or so, and it eased off a little bit, and then it just kept coming showers in the afternoon. And you can work with sheep, but it's awful when they're wet. So we decided against doing it. Because it's just hard when they're soggy and you're having to handle them, and no matter how good your waterproofs are, you'll still get soaked through. So we've decided against it. If it's going to be nice tomorrow morning, we'll maybe try and do it. Who knows? So tonight I am making the Christmas cake. I'm hoping I'll set the camera up so you can sort of see some of the bits I'm doing. And then I'm going to blitz the house. I'm saying all this and it's all on camera, so I have to stick to my word. And then I might try, maybe not say I'm putting decorations out, but sort of start getting them in place for where I want them to go. And then I'll try and do sort of a Vlogmasy video. I would like to try and do some of Vlogmas this time. I won't be able to do every day, just because it takes me so long to upload and get everything up. Some days it can take me a couple of days to upload like one day's video, so it just isn't going to work logistically. So I might try and do like a couple of days at a time, and we'll see how we go from there. But yeah, that's just that's the plan really. So I've done the worst part, which is lining my my little, what do you call it? Cake tin? I've lined that. I am having an extremely strong Bailey's latte that I made myself. I didn't realise I put quite as much Bailey's in. I did put some whipped cream on top, and I've obviously had all that. So if over the course of this video, if I get slightly more squiffy, that's probably why. I don't drink a great deal, so it'll go straight to my head. So I'm just getting all ready with my mixer. I don't often use the mixer. It tends to come out around this time of year because I use it for doing my Christmas cake, and I also like to make a chocolate roulade as well. Oh, that fit in there. At this time of year as well. Come on. Oh, that is not so. Oh, there we go. I always like to make I might have to edit that bit out because it was really funny. I always like to make my Christmas cake with it, and also a chocolate roulade. I use the Great British Bake Off Mary Berry recipe for that, but we are now going to weigh out all my dry ingredients, which is my flour, spice and ground almonds. And I've just put the oven on very low. I'll just show you this. So, unfortunately, they don't quite colour coordinate, but there is definitely kind of a duck egg blue theme going on. And my back to front sheep milk, which I think my uncle bought me a few Christmases ago. I always find when I'm baking and stuff, I never ever set my workstation out right. So everything always seems to be a bit back to front or in the wrong place. I feel like I need somebody to come and redesign my kitchen for me, because this little bit here, which is the bit of kitchen I use the most, is just totally not fit for purpose. Anyway, we make do as best we can, so I'm just sifting my flour. Now it said to use 350 grams of plain flour, but then it also said if you wanted a slightly more open texture to use some self-raising flour. So I have just put a little bit of self-raising flour instead of the plain. I've only done a very small substitution, and we'll just see how that goes. Something green. I think it's a bit of parsley or something. We don't want that in my cake. So that's that. Then we need the spice and ground almonds. So hopefully I have enough ground almonds, 110 grams. So I'm about 103. We'll have to go with that. And then what is the spice I need? Mixed spice. I don't think I have some of that. So this is the inside of my spice cupboard. Do you think ground allspice will be good instead of mixed spice? Because I don't actually think I have any mixed spice. Although ground allspice worries me, because I'm sure it says it's used for jerk seasoning. Yeah. So I might just make a little mix of my own using some nutmeg, not some Chinese 5 spice, not some Cajun seasoning, not some fennel, not paprika. I think I have some cinnamon, and we'll have some cloves as well. Just 1 second. So because I didn't have any mixed spice, I've made my own using ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg and some cloves, which I've all pulverised together very quickly in my pestle and mortar. Mortar and pestle. And that can all go in with my grounded almonds. And the idea being any of the big chunks of the cloves that are left over will remain in the sieve. Just what we're hoping for. And it looks like it. So that's all that mixed together. Hopefully make the dry base. So top tip I learned the hard way. Always break your egg individually into a little tub before putting them in the big tub. I learnt this the hard way after I cracked a rotten egg, after I'd cracked about 4 eggs. So take it from me. I'm really disappointed that I've had to buy eggs, but I think with all the cold weather and stuff, our chickens have just, well, I don't know if they have given over laying or if they are laying their eggs somewhere and we have not yet found them, which is quite likely. My mum did find, she sent me a picture of a secret stash of 7 eggs she discovered behind the hen house in all the undergrowth that we haven't quite got around to putting the goats on yet. And we've sort of long suspected they've been laying there. We have found a few clutches, but it's just quite annoying because there's lots of trees and stuff, and it can be like in the one place you don't look. All you have to do is look at the wrong side and not see anything. Top tip for if you're growing vegetables. So I keep all my eggshells, wash them and let them dry out, and then I store them, and then when I'm potting up my tomatoes I crush them up real fine and put them in the bottom of where the tomato plants will go, and it just, the calcium in the shell allegedly seems to help with blossom end drop. So that's just quite a good little tip there. Starting to think I maybe should have had a bigger jug for mixing together, because it says beat eggs with milk and I haven't given myself a great deal of space for effective beating. And I make a mess like that. I don't know if that was caught on camera, but it just went everywhere. Now sometimes when I have made my Christmas cake, it has felt a little bit sort of dry in places. It kind of gets a weird texture, so I'm not entirely sure what causes that, because I follow this recipe quite closely. I don't know if it's my oven or something like that. I am trying, like, that's partly as well why I put a little bit of self-raising flour in, just to see if it's the texture. It always seems like last year it was really nice, and then there was just one side that was just a bit dry, and I'm not really sure why. Like, I do, while it's after it's been cooked, I do feed it with some more brandy as the time goes by, and that's also why I haven't put any brandy in the milk mixture, though my recipe says I could do it half milk, half brandy. But obviously I've brandied the fruit and then I'll be feeding it with brandy. So whether I just need to keep doing that, I don't know. I'm quite tempted also to put some treacle in, which is what my recipe says as well. I don't think I've done that previously, so we might give it a go. I think I am meant to just fasten that on there to make a little chute so I can add my sugar in. We shall see how it goes. So I don't have a lot of battery left, and I had just put it on charge, but sadly it hasn't quite charged enough for what we need. So you've missed me adding all the butter and the milk and eggs mixture to it. Let's see. Oh, look at that, what a mess. So now we're just getting to the final part. Where I add the fruit in. So I have added some black treacle, which went everywhere. It is the messiest thing in the world because it's so long and sticky, but I'm really pleased with how fluffy the cake mix is. I'm now gonna get treacle all over my fingers when I do this, because I want to take this off, and then I'm just gonna mix it by hand, because I do think the machine is probably gonna struggle with it. I don't actually know if it's all going to fit in because it looks massive to go in my little tin. So I might have to very quickly ice line another little loaf tin and make a little mini one, because this is a lot of fruit. And I mean this. This is a big mixing bowl and it is full. I'm telling you, it is full. I know I have beaten a lot of air in, which I'm now very tentatively, carefully trying not to beat out, which is why I also didn't want the machine to mix it, because I thought it might just go overboard. I do feel like there is a very delicate balance with beating stuff and over mixing stuff. And like this machine, it says it's a patissier, so I don't know if it's more suited for like meringues and dainty stuff rather than a whapping great Christmas cake. Though I do think a Christmas cake, there is a degree of technicality to it. What a mess. So this is the cake, and this is still how much mixture there is left in here. Wow. And I used this exact same recipe last year, so I am wondering if I have just managed to get more air into it, because I creamed the eggs, no, I creamed the butter and sugar for a lot longer than I normally would. So I think I'm going to try and get a little loaf tin, line that out, and then I'll maybe make a little mini cake and see how that is. So I'll be eating Christmas cakes, I think, well into the new year. But this one is going to go in now, although I will probably put it in its little jacket. That I've made here. Sorry, I was totally lost there. So I have here, this is my little, I have my little jacket that I put round it, which me and my mother made many moons ago, and then this is the one that goes on the top. After about 2 hours, I think that's what it tends to say, that I'll just keep checking it, because I'm so paranoid of it burning. Like, it didn't say in the recipe to line it inside, but I have done, and when I've looked at their picture, they have lined it inside, so I think that was maybe just like an editorial typo, but I will put its little jacket round it. But now I'm running out of battery, so I best put this back on charge.